Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, is about Michael Myers going after Jamie Lloyd, but not just her new baby boy. So he's trying to get her, trying to get that baby and give that baby to the man in black. Hey everybody, how you doing out there? And the thing is that out of all of the movies of this first timeline, this is the movie I have actually watched the least. This is one of those movies that was always not that memorable to me when I would see it on TV here or there. For some reason, when this was one of those movies that I was trying to get on DVD, now I had all the other ones already out for like many years. This was always tough to get this one if it was Amazon, eBay, even at the time video stores when they actually still, well, I'm sure they're still around, but not as many as they used to be. Always had trouble trying to actually find them. So about 5-6 years ago, I finally actually got this movie. And I will say that I'm wondering why it was always not that memorable to me, because when I sat down and watched it many years ago, and of course I've watched it since, I've always actually enjoyed it. So I don't know exactly really what it was about it on that very first view when I was much younger in my life. But I've always had fun with this movie. Now, do I still enjoy this movie, or is this one of those movies that kind of fall at the wayside more as an adult than when I was a kid? Well, stay tuned. Well, going on the first like, it's going to actually be the Halloween theme song. If you saw my review for part 4, I said that starting with that one, they kind of tweaked it a little here or there, the John Carpenter's original theme song. In this one, it was actually a guitar riff, and I actually thought that was really awesome. About a minute or two into the movie, they hit you with the guitar riff of this theme song, and I'm really enjoying it. Going with some of the characters, want to go with Michael Myers. This is played by George P. Wilbur. This is the second time he played that character in part 4, and he's also in this movie. And I will say the difference between 4 and 6 on this one a little bit better. He's actually back of being scary again, where in the 4th one I felt like he was a little smarter than being scary. If you haven't seen my review on that one, when this is done, go check that one out there, why I consider him so smart. But in this one, just like the first two Halloween movies, coming out of the shadows, being very creepy. Even I'm still very scared of Michael Myers again when I watch this one. Love the mask. It almost felt like that they really brought that design back from the original William Shatner mask, so I was very pleased. Donald Pleasence as Dr. Loomis. This is bittersweet because this was the last movie he actually was in. This was the last time to play Dr. Loomis before he passed away, like about 7 months before this movie actually came out in the theaters. He still does a good job. Yes, he's old Dr. Loomis, but he still feels like he's the Dr. Loomis from the original and Halloween 2. But when it came to 4 and 5, I was just like, he was okay in those ones here, where it feels like he still has that gravitas like he should, just like the first two. We also have another character in here named Kira. And the thing is, she's part of the family who lives in the Meyer house. We'll get to the rest of them later on. I really liked her acting. She was very believable. I think she had some really good dialogue. She might be one of the few people that actually had some good dialogue and some of her narrative of what she had to do. And even though that she's a plain and simple just kind of character, I liked her because she doesn't really tick me off. I thought she was really well done in this. If you're looking for some good gore, this movie gives you great gore. You get a lot of blood in this movie here, Michael Myers. I do enjoy the kills and the deaths in this movie here. And there's one particular that I really like, because I don't think Michael Myers has ever done anything like this before, so this was definitely a treat, where he actually has pretty much almost like a Jason machete. He goes into a room full of doctors and nurses and just starts slashing and hacking them up, and I thought that was really cool. For probably about a minute or two, taking them out. There is one doctor that survives a little bit, but when Michael Myers catches up to him, I think he gets it a lot worse than just being sliced and diced in the chest or, across the neck. And then the final like I want to talk about is I thought this was directed very well. This really felt like Halloween and Halloween season. So the director and the camera shots we get out of this felt beautiful. And moving on to the dislikes, and I got a big list of characters I like to talk about. So let's get ourselves started. The first person I want to talk about is the new actress who plays Jamie Lloyd. Danielle Harris didn't want to come back. She probably read the script and said, oh, hell no. I don't blame her. It's probably the only positive I can kind of give. Danielle Harris decided not to be in this movie. They disrespect that character. I feel like they just give her, or pretty much even Danielle Harris, the middle finger. And it was just like, I don't know why they ended up doing what they did with her character. So the new actress we get, I can't even latch onto her because she's hardly even in the movie. You got Paul Rudd, who's been in a lot of great movies, you know, a lot of great comedies. He plays Ant-Man. He was in the last 2 Ghostbusters movies, and he has some great acting chops. When it came to this movie, he doesn't really do a whole lot, truthfully. I mean, there's a cool thing that happens in Act 3 with him and Michael Myers I could kind of latch onto a little bit there, but most of the time, he's just a silent character. He just tries to stare you down, be very creepy. But when he even does talk and deliver his lines, I did not like exactly what we got out of that. And then before I forget to mention, he does play Tommy Doyle, the adult Tommy Doyle from John Carpenter's original movie. Now let's get to the family. Let's get to the husband. I think his first name was John. He is a total dick. And yes, he does that part very well, but there's really nothing to actually even enjoy about this guy. Sometimes you could be a total asshole in a movie or a TV show, and you could still kind of latch on to certain things about that person. This guy just felt like he was just a soulless bastard. And the only good thing, if you want to call it a spoiler, is Michael Myers takes him out. I enjoyed what we actually got out of it there. Going with the wife, which I cannot remember her name other than she's mom, you know, to the kids, is that she's just one of these characters who's just such a plain Jane. And yes, her daughter's the same way, but yet I like the daughter. But she's a plain Jane kind of character. She's a character that people will just walk all over her if she lets them. I didn't really care much about her. She was just that. She was just blah. We actually have Barry, which is actually the son and Kara's brother. At first, I kind of liked him, and then after a while, he takes a nosedive with his acting. Like, he goes from being a somewhat cool character and a cool brother to just being nothing but dull, and I'm like, oh, that's horrible. Thinking about Blah, it's going to be Kara's son, Danny. The kid doesn't really do a whole lot. I'm not going to be too rude about him, but think about it this way. We already had kid actors like Tommy Doyle, you had Danielle Harris, but then you come to this kid actor, and there really wasn't a whole lot for this kid to really do, honestly. And even when he did, he's another character I was just like, I don't care. I just don't care. And we have Barry Sims, and he is a radio DJ or a radio personality. Think about he's like Howard Stern, except the only thing is that he's one of these characters who thinks he's funny, but honestly he's not. He's kind of a mixture of the father in this movie and Bud from Halloween 2, another one who thought he was always funny, but no one really gave a damn about his jokes. He's another character, Barry Sims, that deserved to be punched in the face. Now, when they finally reveal who the man in black is from Halloween 5 to this movie, I did not give a flying fuck about who he was either. But when it comes to the story, nobody should be able to control Michael Myers. It's almost like if someone tried to control Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger. But when it comes to Michael Myers, John Carpenter was never expecting that they'd come up and sink that low. This would be the story about this cult that he's actually in and him really being the master picks and chooses who's supposed to die. I call complete bullshit on that there. The script was pretty stupid. The dialogue was really bad. Kara and somewhat Donald Pleasence had some good lines. The rest of them, no, it just felt like that this is what they had to say, and they just really said it with no emotions, and I have to really blame a lot on the kind of the script. And then the final dislike, and if you want to, again, call this a spoiler, so be it here, is that we actually do not actually get a scene with Dr. Loomis and Michael Myers, because I know this was produced or executive produced by the Weinstein brothers, and I wouldn't be surprised if Harvey Weinstein say, no, Dr. Loomis is going to be in all this kind of scenes, and Michael Myers will be in all these scenes, and they're not going to have a connection really one bit. I thought that really sucked. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, I'm going to go 1.5 out of 4 stars. Have you seen this movie? If you have, do you like it? Do you not like it? Give me a comment down below. We shall discuss it. So thank you guys so much for watching another video here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.